Hello, my name is Emily Morales. For my senior project, I aim to provide reusable and eco-friendly facial coverings for high-risk veterans in my community. With the increasing number of COVID infections within the high-risk population, our nation's veterans are at even higher risk. On October 6th, in preparation for my project, I calculated the dollar amount I would need to achieve my goal. I first came up with the amount of $500 to provide reusable masks for 100 veterans. With my parents' help, I created a GoFundMe page to raise funds to cover the costs involved. On October 17th, my GoFundMe fundraiser netted $534. I also received $280 cash donations from friends, thanks to my dad. That brought our donation total to $814. With that, I was on my way to procure my needed materials. After re-evaluating our total donations, I was re-inspired to rework my initial plan. My initial plan of only providing reusable masks was about to become more elaborate. Having received more donations than expected, I was able to purchase from local businesses face shields, homemade reusable masks, hand sanitizers, antibacterial wipes, and lens cleaners. Not only am I trying to provide to veterans in our community, I also made sure to support local businesses and private entities within the community. Once everything was purchased, we started assembling at home our COVID protection kits. With the help of my parents, we were able to pack 100 of these kits aimed to support high-risk veterans in the fight against COVID-19. Prior to our COVID protection kits being ready for our veterans, I started doing my research as to which group I was going to donate to. Unfortunately, with COVID numbers spiking in the North Bay, I was urged by my parents, for my protection, to use a third-party organization to hand out these kits to individual veterans in need. I reached out to groups who continue to provide face-to-face services to high-risk and/or disabled veterans. The first group I met with was the North Bay Vet Center in Rohnert Park. During this COVID pandemic, the North Bay Vet Center has remained open for individual and group counseling for multi-era veterans, service members, and their families. Majority of the veterans who seek services at the Vet Center are disabled and/or elderly. Veterans also seek the Vet Center's help for family counseling, grief counseling, military sexual trauma counseling, substance abuse referrals, and referrals to other Veterans Affairs services. The Vet Center's scope of services is wide that it attracts a great number of veterans to its doors. I donated 25 sets of COVID protection kits to the Vet Center to disseminate to veterans they provide service to. The second group I met with was the U.S. Army and Marine Corps. The recruiting station, which is fully staffed by active duty soldiers and Marines, has remained open throughout this COVID-19 pandemic. Even as infection rates continue to rise in the North Bay, the local recruiting offices in Novato are still seeing prospective applicants to our nation's military. I felt it was necessary to ensure the safety of these recruiters as they are meeting with the general public on a day-to-day basis and sometimes in close proximity to their planned recruits. I donated 25 sets of COVID protection kits to the U.S. Army and U.S. Marine Corps Novato as they continue their essential duty to the nation. The third group I met with was the American Legion Riders Chapter 28 from Petaluma. The American Legion Riders is one of the nation's largest veteran service organizations committed to mentoring youth groups in our communities, promoting patriotism, and continued service to their fellow service members and veterans. Members of this organization have remained especially active in spite of the COVID restrictions imposed on our community. Occasionally, they are out in the public conducting fundraising activities, which they in turn use to support veteran and active duty oriented projects. They recently donated a truckload of Thanksgiving turkeys for the families of service members stationed at Coast Guard Training Center in Petaluma. Just last week, they delivered a car full of toys and Christmas presents to the Valley of the Moon Children's Home in Santa Rosa. I chose to donate 30 COVID kits to the American Legion Riders organization and its members so they may continue staying healthy for the community and veterans they pledge to serve. The fourth and final group I met with was Nation's Finest, formerly known as North Bay Veterans Resource Center. Nation's Finest Santa Rosa provides various programs and services tailored for each veteran. Their facilities in Santa Rosa are staffed by a diverse, professional, and talented group of individuals who are committed to serving our veterans in a respectful and positive way. One of their programs is homelessness prevention for veterans. To achieve this, they offer transitional housing for homeless veterans with mental health disorders to stay at their transitional housing facility for up to 2 years while receiving a range of clinical services, employment and training programs, legal aid, and other methods of support. Since the pandemic has gripped our state, it has created a crisis within a crisis for the homeless population. Homeless veterans are no different. I chose to donate the remaining 20 COVID protection kits to Nation's Finest. It is my hope that these kits help the veterans coming in to the facilities remain safe and healthy.